they also have a +6 advantage on the offensive glass.
Yeah, and you and I touched on that in the first half. I think that is huge. Again, Iowa State offensively, what they want to do is create points off their defense by creating turnovers. And then in the half court, everything is downhill towards the rim. And part of that is their ability to get the foul line. BYU has defended without fouling pretty well.
Same starting five for both teams. High rainbow shot, the teardrop straight through for Keyshawn Gilbert.
And Gilbert, one of those guys for Iowa State. If you get him going with Lipsey downhill, a guy that's really a dynamic scorer, but in Big 12 play, he hasn't gotten off to as good a start as you saw in the non-conference. So that is a positive sign right there, right out of the gate for Iowa State.
So the Cyclones pressuring the ball tightly. They get a switch up here. Rob Jones caught on Johnson. To the corner it goes. Robinson's three is short. Waterman with his activity able to get another offensive rebound for BYU. Good to see Noah Waterman back out there. He was cracked on the top of the head late in the first half, and he's got a whale of a game here tonight.
Yeah, did a great job on that weak side following the flight of the ball. And it is difficult in your defensive rebound to get an errant shot or certainly one that's an air ball. But Waterman has been active, as you said, Sean, at both ends of the floor. And been a big reason. Look, basketball's simple. You and I do games. We basically talk about the same things each contest, right? It's defend. It's take care of the ball, which BYU did a nice job in the first half. It's rebound, which they have the advantage there. And then it's make sure the right guys are shooting.
Let's see. Piercing inside. Missed the shot, but worked from Trey King on the offensive glass. Khalifa the foul. This is an area you brought up. It was a good point in the first half. BYU getting to the foul line. They're now 10 of 13. Iowa State. This will be their 5th and 6th trip to the foul line, an area that they certainly frequent often during the course of a game.
Yeah, that's good for the Cyclones to get to the line here. But Gilbert, Lipsey especially, got to find ways to drive to contact that they haven't been able to thus far. And this is not, in terms of BYU getting to the line, Sean, it's not only for just tonight's game. This has got to be a thing that they continue to progress on as Big 12 teams concentrate on taking away that three-point shot.
So our three officials are going to discuss that last call. They're looking possibly for an elbow here on this exchange. It was a real brief one. Looks like an inadvertent arm catching Khalifa.
Did my silence tell you that I got nothing?
Yeah, I could tell.
Which is normal for me in everyday life as well.
Iowa State 71% this year from the foul line. Trey King 81% this year. Just on that follow through from King that caught Khalifa. King with 3 points. Makes both. Iowa State back within 2. Trey King, a veteran, 24 years old, the 8th oldest player in the country, and now an offensive foul on Jackson Robinson as he shoved off on Gilbert.
Now, one of the things that makes Iowa State so tough defensively is so you have Tamin Lipsey, who's an elite on-ball defender. So too is Keyshawn Gilbert. And as TJ Ossenberger got him in the portal from UNLV, that's one of the things they liked about him. And what got Robinson in trouble there, Sean, is just the extension of the arm. And anytime you do that in the open floor in front of those officials, they will call that.
Iowa State is not led in their last lead, 7 minutes in that first half, and they won't get it done here as they have a go off with Jones and his forearm out of bounds.
And one of the things as we watch BYU defensively, and this is the first live look that both of you and I have had of Mark Pope's team, a lot of size and length there. And that certainly is beneficial to you on the defensive end. Gilbert trying to get to the rim, but the length of BYU and the smart play of not leaving their feet and using that size advantage right there was solid.
Rob Jones, a fan favorite back at Hilton Coliseum in Ames, another loud venue. BYU talked about how great of an environment, and it's going to be a good environment here after the dunk by Noah Waterman.
And a great job of Hall right there. So he drags the double team, stretches it out, gets it to Khalifa, who is great, especially if he has some room and space. There's no pressure there. And when he doesn't have pressure on him, he finds the open man and drops dimes.
Khalifa is a point guard and a 6-foot, 11-inch body. Great court vision, ball skills.
And it's such a unique player.
Lipsy too strong, tried to tip it to a teammate.
And watch this right here. Watch Hall. See, an extra dribble. So you drag Iowa State players with you because they're going to hold you in that double team or hold that ball screen hedge a little long. And that was almost just like baiting Iowa State to you right there. Really like Hall and his toughness. I mean, you can tell he's mentally and physically tough when you watch him play.
Khalifa again trying to find Waterman, and he was there. Trey King was forced to hold him. Otherwise, that was going to be another easy lay-in, and that is going to be the fourth. So King is going to have to exit stage right.
Yeah, right there. You know, with BYU, because of the shooting, you have to extend out on the perimeter. And that's a couple of times that BYU has nicely cut back door. That'll keep Iowa State honest.
Key minutes now for Hassan Ward, who's in the game with 4 fouls for King. 1 and done for BYU. Here comes Gilbert, full head of steam. Gives it to a trailing Ward, sets a screen for Curtis Jones. Back out high to Lipsy. Lipsy to the elbow. Tough shot, spins it up. No. Ward hustling after the loose ball. Second chance opportunity. That pass looked like it was intended for Lipsy, intercepted by Gilbert. And then he leaned in with his shoulder, and the offensive foul on Keyshawn.
Every time it looked like it was an opening last possession, Iowa State would get something easy. BYU recovers. Hall, great job. We've talked about elite on-ball defending from Iowa State. This too from BYU. Beating to the spot, squared up. It's a no-doubter right there.
Look at the play of Dallin Hall. Much like Lipsy for Iowa State, he's only a sophomore. It was so impressive last year in his true freshman season. He was only a month or two removed from a mission, and to really jump into the fray like he did and have the success really speaks a lot about who he is as a player and a person. Waterman fouled. 2 more free throws for BYU.
So BYU looking more comfortable. Like I said, they've kind of figured out or gained confidence in how to attack Iowa State. We look at Hall right here, hit the seam. The gap's there. Well, this is a great look. And Hall does such a great job of not getting too deep. He knows when to hold up, when to set up his teammate. And Mark Pope certainly likes that.
Noah Waterman, a long way from home. He grew up in Savannah, New York, one of 9 in the Waterman family. His older brother, Ben, introduced him to the sport of basketball. A hard-working mother, Kim, who actually was able to watch him play. Only time she's been able to watch him in person earlier this year, and she's enjoying this one back home in the Northeast. 5-point Cougar lead. Chilovic trying to get freed up. Good job there by Waterman. Closing the space. Lipsy darts a pass into heavy traffic. Scrum on the floor, and we have a tie-up. Arrow favoring BYU.
Taylor, the weak side help right there. Khalifa rotated over. It's after the good ball movement, swinging side to side to Lipsy. And you like that because you get the defense to shift. You get an elite playmaker attacking, but as Lipsy drove that left baseline, Khalifa sitting there waiting in help position. And that's one of the things, we talked about BYU's improvement defensively this year. Their bigs don't leave their feet.
Leaving the feet was Ward, but he got a piece of it. Hassan Ward saw Lipsy take a quick breather. TJ Otzelberger playing with the media timeout coming up, trying to get his star sophomore point guard a little extra breather for the timeout coming up shortly. 2 free throws for Jackson Robinson.
They'll get Lipsy. You got that under 16 media timeout coming up. And get him a little bit of an extended rest.
Robinson making his first start, yet he is one of their top scorers, 14 points a game. Coming off the bench this year, has really accepted and embraced that role. He was injured at the start of the year and just kind of found his niche coming off the bench, and what a punch he provides. Gilbert with the attack. No, loose ball picked up by Gilbert as he salvages a second crack at it. Inside pass. Here's Ward with the bunny. Rare miss from Hassan Ward. Timeout in the action. When we come back, Tyrese Halliburton will join us here at the table. The Cyclone great. And his clones can rally here in the second half.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one.
Because we've learned when ideas are...
A special phone call to Milan to convince him that Ames is the spot. Take us through that phone call.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they've used me a little bit to, help recruit some guys. When Taman was in high school, I used to go to all his high school games and watch him play. But yeah, Milan and Jackson Pavlichevsky, I mean, 2 Wisconsin guys trying to help him, come to the good guys.
Wisconsin pipeline has been strong through the years to Ames. BYU with their largest lead. Dallin Hall with the long ball. Cougars by 10. Foul on Waterman as Gilbert took it in.
Tyrese, what do you think about Taman? Obviously, you saw him when he was young. Was great as a freshman. Has really elevated this year.
Yeah, he keeps growing. He's got a chance to, be one of the best players in school history. The way he keeps playing, and he's a winning player, does winning things. So it's good to see him having success, and it's only up from here.
Free throw line jumper, and Rob Jones splashes it in.
With Tyrese committed to getting that ball in that paint.
TJ's been great.
Year 3 for Otzelberger at Iowa State. Cyclones on the road down. There is Gilbert as he goes tumbling down.
When we talked to TJ Otzelberger earlier today, he mentioned multiple times about Gilbert complimenting Lipsy and getting to the paint, driving hard, not settling for jumpers.
Richie Saunders, who's had somewhat of a quiet night, able to hit the baseline, Jay. Tyrese, we were talking in the first half, the physicality of this conference and how it prepares you for the next league. Talk a little bit about this.
It's the best conference in basketball. We debate this in our locker room every day. We got a lot of ACC guys, got a lot of SEC guys, all that stuff. But there's nothing like this. This is the best. It's the best league in the world. So, this is another good team that fits in right where everybody else does.
Saunders banged into and the foul on Jones.
So I have to ask you, and I was fortunate to call some of your games when you were at Iowa State, and I mentioned this in the first half, and we recognize that you're here. Your ability, I mean, at all levels, to play like you do, the decision making and not turn it over. I mean, where does that come from? I mean, it's really remarkable that you make so few mistakes.
Yeah, I think just my teachers growing up and just valuing the ball. It was always been taught me the point guard is, kind of like being the mom of the team. Keep everybody happy. You turn it over, that don't really keep your teammates happy. So trying to fit it that way.
Teams exchanging baskets. Khalifa gets his first 2. Here comes the crowd again. BYU back up 10. Inside pass, Lipsy patient, able to get Khalifa to leave his feet. Also Robinson, he landed awkwardly. Let's see if Jackson's all right. Slowly getting back up to his feet.
Yeah, again, BYU up 10, a little bit of separation. But Sean, as we talked about, Iowa State does not settle. They're going to still attack the paint. In fact, Lipsy, he knows when they need a bucket that he's got to go make something happen immediately, stop the momentum of BYU.
Quick trigger three. Spun offline. Iowa State's second chance at it. BYU thought it hit the top of the basket. Jones attacks, and he'll draw the foul. Tiki with a piece of the arm, and Rob Jones to get two.
You think the fans know the top of the square is
Not the home fans.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tyrese. Again, Lipsy, so great at hitting those seams, getting to the horn. And those fives, Tyrese, Jones and a Warden. So us, it looks like they do a great job letting the play develop and being opportunistic.
Yeah, I think they've been really good at being patient. The offense is a little different than when I played here. They play more through the big. It's a little slower paced. So I think what's key for them is just be patient offensively. But I think I get some stops without fouling right now.
Two clutch free throws by Jones. 59%er on the season. Iowa State down 8. Johnson brings the ball up ahead. Spencer Johnson, really responsible for this BYU lead for his play in the first half, had 19 in the first half. Alan Hall has been the distributor tonight. He'll do it here inside, getting caught up in the air, and this will be a turnover on BYU. You had that call, Tyrese.
Yeah,
you're on top
come on now. They moved the ball really well, though. Wow, their offense is amazing.
So where are you health-wise?
I'm good, man. I should be back in a couple of days. Dodged a big injury, so, God is good. God is good for sure. Just trying to get back and help the team. Come on.
Curtis Jones and Iowa State shooting woes continue in this second half. Hall measures and buries.
Well, they are so good in transition. Those broken floors. T.J. Otzelberger, wise timeout right here.
Tyrese, great seeing you. Enjoy the rest of this one.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks
Best
for
of
having
luck.
me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Indiana Pacers, great. Tyrese Halliburton hoping T.J. Otzelberger and the Cyclones can find some late magic here on the road.
Iowa State just hasn't been able to turn them over. 6 turnovers the first half, only 2 for Mark Pope's team here in the second. And that's key when you play anybody, especially Iowa State, because much of their offense comes from those live ball turnovers. BYU saw Khalifa's runner in the lane all by himself. And then in transition, BYU is so good at spacing, running to the three-point line, especially when Hall leads a break. He does such a great job of finding his teammates.
Good set play after the timeout. Gilbert, Iowa State just struggled from the floor. Another reason BYU has been able to open up this lead a little bit. The Cyclones 4 of 13 from the floor here in the opening 9 minutes. Robinson playing with the 3 fouls. Same story for Atiki, wearing number 4 in white. The Cyclones cranking up that defensive pressure. Robinson attacks and draws the foul. It's going to be Curtis Jones. Brendan, free throws are becoming a factor for the Cougars here. This will be their 18th and 19th trip to the foul line, and we still have 12 minutes to go.
And he gets 4 on Curtis Jones as well, Sean. So with King and Curtis Jones, with 4 each, 12 minutes left, a little bit of managing of the rotation for T.J. Otzelberger. But no, absolutely. Right there, you get a broken floor. Robertson kind of weaves his way down, drives to contact. It's good to see. Robinson, as good as he's been, as talented as he is, coming into tonight, he'd only been in the line 17 times all year.
Second full year in Provo for Robinson, and a Tiki swats it. BYU wants to run. Johnson finishes on the other end.
When we talked about a Tiki tonight, especially being able to be out on the floor for that very reason right there. He stayed out of foul trouble, allows him to make those rim protection type plays.
A rare offensive rebound for Iowa State. Hassan Ward a second chance at it. Dangerous juncture for the Clones on the road. Gilbert misses a couple, but the energy from Watson. And another foul as the two teams head to their huddles. The Cougars showing they can play some defense. The block shot, Atiki setting it up. Johnson on the transition. BYU with their largest lead of the night.
What's the story of Athletic Brewing? Well, it all started with a crazy idea.
Why can't there just be an amazing non-alcoholic beer that keeps up with my busy life that wouldn't affect me the next day?
So when did you know you were onto something?
Like an hour ago?
We've been living it since day one. Nothing held back. All for the love of soccer.
Nobody has made more three-pointers in all of college basketball than BYU. They've added 9 more to that total tonight.
And notice, Sean, where all of these are coming from. This is transition. Advance the ball up the floor to shooters, drive, draw the defense to the paint. Spencer Johnson wide open in the corner. This is all basically in transition, secondary transition, if you will. Again, BYU so good at pushing it. If they can't get to the rim, they space you. And the trouble with it, when you're playing them, it's multiple spots. You know, a lot of teams, it's 1 or 2 guys that you have to meet up high. In some cases, it's 3 or 4 when you play BYU.
Gilbert, who has missed his last 2 three-pointers, just can't find the range, but yet another long offensive rebound. Karams to the Cyclones. Lipsy attacking the hoop, has it blocked.
Where Waterman has been really good. And it was important for the 4s and 5s of BYU to be good at both ends of the floor. What was great about that, used his length and his offhand to block that shot.
2 free throws for Momcilovic. On a night in which BYU pretty much has dominated the offensive glass, this is one of those few possessions, Brendan, where Iowa State able to get some long rebounds, multiple opportunities. This time down the floor, and they will send out the good-looking freshman on his first trips to the free throw line tonight.
Well, the positive for the Cyclones, Sean, is it's in their DNA to get stops. I mean, they're defensive oriented, even though BYU has scored 60 through 3/4 of this game. They turn the ball over, they can turn you over, and plus it's in their DNA to get to the line. So I'd be surprised if the Cyclones don't have a run or 2 in them to get this back to being interesting.
Shooting right into the teeth of the rock. That's the student section here at BYU. Cougars by 12. Khalifa surveys his options. There's the Waterman in the corner. He'll go baseline. His pass sailed on him, but there was some contact. The blocking foul underneath will be on Iowa State's Watson.
Call a block on this possession. So let's Waterman on the drive. Or bang bang play right there. That certainly could have gone either way.
BYU in the bonus. Waterman, 18 points, 3 rebounds tonight. It'll be a nice bounce back game offensively with no Trevin Nell and no Traore. They needed his offense, and he has delivered. sharpshooters in the Big 12 sideline tonight. Trevin Nell hit 9 threes in this arena. As you see more contact here, and Brendan, you said
that's
we're getting a little chippy, and that time Lipsy tangled up with Richie Saunders, and there's still some jawing back and forth. These two teams haven't met in a while, and it was chippy back in 2013, the last time Iowa State played here in Provo, and getting a little feisty now.
Yeah, they're going to take a look at this one. And watch on the right of your screen. That wasn't Lipsy right there.
It was Hassan Ward underneath who initiated the contact with Saunders that drove Saunders into Lipsy. Was it Watson?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that left elbow of Ward, and that's what drove Saunders into the lap of Lipsy, and that's what the officials are going to take a look at.
Yeah, that's going to be easy to evaluate right there. And that's just, I'm not sure what Ward, he's a veteran. I'm not sure what he's thinking right there.
This turns out the way we both think it will. This could be a costly mental mistake by Iowa State on the road. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, totally initiated that right in to Saunders. Yeah. So Keith Kimball did say it was a flagrant 2. And Sean, as we were talking, it didn't take long to figure that one out. I mean, that was right there out in the open.
TJ Otzelberger getting an explanation. Saunders was on the wrong end of that last collision. And now the explanation of a flagrant 2, which is an ejection.
Man, I think good officiating. Keith Kimball, TJ Otzelberger wanted the explanation, spent the time to explain him. In fact, he pointed over to the direction of the scores table on the monitor. Essentially, I think he was telling TJ it was a pretty easy one to navigate through. And that's a big loss. Obviously, Ward has been great for Iowa State. That 5 position between he and Robert Jones has been really productive as of late.
So Ward heads into the tunnel below. BYU has put the Cyclones in a real precarious spot now.
So, Sean, you see it. Sometimes that can spark a team if you're in Iowa State. It can certainly go in either direction.
Last touch by the Cyclones. Rob Jones getting his hands on it. So we go back to the flagrant 2, and it's the left arm initiating contact, the elbow right underneath the chin of Saunders.
It's always not only initiating right there with the shoulder, but then he extended through the contact.
Going all over to Saunders. Saunders with that shot clock winding down, lets her fly. Jones the rebound. See if Lipsy can restore some order if you're Iowa State. Tough environment on the road, down 16 without one of your more physical and athletic players for this home stretch run. Lipsy gets caught up in the air, trying to lob it into Jones, batted away by Hall.
Say what, just been nowhere for Iowa State to go. What BYU has done defensively, also, Sean, is they haven't got out of position. We talked about the pretty good size at multiple spots in length, and they've just used that size, especially on the perimeter, to keep those small guards in front.
Jones goes down hard as he tried to stuff it home on the inbound. He's still on the court. Rob Jones taking his collective breath. And these two teams just exchanging blows here over the last few moments.
Well, Iowa State's not going to stop attacking that rim. Right there, Jones, that's what you have to do. You catch that ball, go strong. Just got a little bit off balance when he grabbed that rim. Lost his feet. Good to see him get up okay. So now you got to really lean on Jones, obviously, with Ward being unavailable with the ejection at the 5 position. Look at that behind them.
Michael Scott would be the biggest distractor if I was at the foul line. Jones misfires. You get a second. You see Rob Jones still trying to shake those cobwebs from that last collision with Khalifa. Khalifa picking up his second foul. Missed them both. Fight for the rebound. Good energy there by King. Let's see who would touch last. That was all Trey King with his effort.
Yeah, that background may have affected that. Those 2 free throws. That's what King does. Doesn't mean that's a great play. Great effort to extend your possession right here.
Iowa State needing to start to cut into this deficit, and Jackson Paveletzky. It's his jump shot, and Iowa State within 14.
Yeah, another positive play offensively right there. Just solid. They backed off of him. Plenty of room for him to knock that down.
Paveletzky, the SoCon Freshman of the Year a season ago for Wofford. So the transfers they brought in. 3-ball up, and it's good. It seems like BYU has an answer every time.
And the answer on that possession was Hall. I just love how he keeps his dribble alive. He doesn't get too deep.
Sheila Beach. BYU is connected on 5 of their last 6 field goals. Hope redirecting traffic. Alan Hall working on the sophomore. Paveletzky. Khalifa back to the hoop. Jones heckling him. Back to Hall. Jones with that help out. Forced the double team. That opened up Khalifa. No. And Chilovic grabs the board. A quiet second half for Lipsy. He'll try to change that. Not happening. Lipsy started the night 3 of 4 since. He's went 0 for 7.
Yeah, he had the room, but he also had the matchup.
Long 3 for Dallin Hall. And BYU trying to throw the knockout punch. All 14,000 on their feet. And Momcilovic fouled, and he'll get 3.
Well, Sean in the first half. Spencer Johnson carried BYU. Second half is some playmaking. 7 assists on the night. But here's some scoring from Dallin Hall. That BYU bench loves it.
Did you know you can get 40% off a single pair of glasses at America's Best? These savings won't last forever, unlike your eternal elation. Okay, settle down. You know, for someone who doesn't wear glasses, you sure are excited. Yeah. For a limited time, get 40% off a single pair of glasses at America's Best. Shop online or book an exam at americasbest.com. If you're at 11, I'm going to need you to tone it down to at least a 4.
We've been living it since day one. Nothing held back. All for the love of soccer.
Big 12 now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans. Saturday afternoon, there are 4 men's basketball matchups. 15th ranked Oklahoma travels to Cincinnati at 1 Eastern. Then UCF visits number 5 Houston at 2. Third-ranked Kansas at West Virginia. Then Oklahoma State, Kansas State in Manhattan, 7 o'clock. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now. Spencer Johnson, it's a new career high. 24 points, 22 his previous best. 8 of 14 from the floor, 4 of 19. Keep in mind, he set the tone, 19 in the first half.
Yeah, he was terrific in the first half. He's only taken 2 shots here in the second, made both of those. But you have tremendous balance right now for BYU, which makes it even more difficult to defend. 4 players in double figures. Waterman has made shots in both halves. But I tell you what, and I expected that I would be seeing him in person. Dallin Hall can play. And a legit high-level Big 12 point guard. We've seen him do some things defensively. His floor game has been outstanding. He's 4-4 from the floor. But more importantly, Sean, he has 7 assists and 1 turnover. 7 assists and 1 turnover against an elite defensive team, not only in this big-time conference, but nationally. He's been absolutely outstanding. After being a little bit shaky early, completely settled in and been mature.
Over here on Robinson. You know, you look at Dallin Hall, he's now made a 3-pointer in 12 straight games this year. And this second half, he has been the difference maker. 3 for 3 from downtown. 11 points, 7 assists for Hall. Rare turnover by BYU. The freshman will try to shoot Iowa State back into it, not falling tonight. 1 and done for ISU. Robinson wheels it into the front court. BYU with only 3 turnovers here in this second half. Beat Iowa State, get to the foul line, and take care of the basketball. And it doesn't hurt when you're knocking in 39% from three-point land as well.
I've just been impressed so much with BYU defensively. And as you well know, look, and offensively, shot it great from 3, and that's nothing new. But there's going to be nights that doesn't happen, like in Orlando against Central Florida. And Mark Pope's team continues to improve defensively, which also includes, Sean, board play defensively, right? And they've held more than their own here tonight in Provo. And that's the formula. You defend and you take care of the ball. You rebound well. In this league, you have a chance every night. And that's the way they've been playing the last couple of ball games.
Rob Jones does a lot of things well, but foul shooting has been one of the areas he's tried to improve on tonight. Now 3 of 8. Couple of key misses. Iowa State running out of time here. Khalifa patient with the ball. Iowa State working to deny Dallin Hall a touch. Shot clock at 10. Khalifa rotates it. Here goes Johnson to the elbow, down to the block. Good D there by King. Here's Khalifa letting her fly. No, but Waterman has it land in his lap, and a second chance for BYU.
Yeah, that was a really good defensive stand by Iowa State, and that's a killer when you give up that offensive rebound. Certainly when you're down 15 with 6.5 left.
Backdoor cut. Oh, does he have court vision? Khalifa with another helper. Robinson, the easy layup. Timeout, Iowa State.
He knows that was, I think that was up 15, a little bit higher degree of difficulty.
Gilbert, who's been active in this second half, he'll take it right in on Khalifa, challenge the big man and score.
Yeah, great job right there. Had Khalifa backpedaling, he went right at his chest. Great finish.
The Cyclone defense can create some turnovers now. They're going to need it. Approach the 5.5-minute mark. Khalifa looking for some options. Sends that one-hand bounce pass. Hall elected not to shoot it. Instead, the unselfish play, the extra pass, and it's Johnson on the weak side.
Yeah, once the help was forced off the Khalifa pass, then you have Iowa State trying to catch up with the offense. Way and the quickness with which BYU moves it gives them an easy opportunity. So watch this right here. So again, Khalifa, the top of the key. You have the luxury, if you're Mark Pope, of running your offense through him. Vision right there, back door. And look at the timing. Everything is perfect when Khalifa passes it. And Spencer Johnson, under control, plays out 2 feet, makes the right play for the lane.
What an environment tonight. 2 top 25 teams, a week that saw the Big 12 put 8 in the top 25. That's never happened in conference history, and we're just getting started.
And a part of that, when you had 10 teams, when you get into league play, somebody's got to get beat. And you've seen it over the years. And there's 8 or 9 teams consistently in the top 45 or 50. And these 4 additions have been outstanding. When you look at BYU, Wes Miller's team at Cincinnati, they're going to continue to get better. Central Florida, beating Kansas. And obviously Houston, that was a no-brainer. Mark Pope mentioned today, right? He said Houston, number 1, 2, or 3 team in the country, loses 2 early on in Big 12 conference play. He said this league is great.
BYU was ranked as high as 12 when they started 0-2 in the conference. Saunders gets a penetrating shot to go. Kansas at 14-2. Houston and Baylor share that record. Oklahoma, TCU, BYU, Iowa State. How about Texas Tech, unbeaten in conference play?
Grant McCaslin, first-year head coach there, via North Texas, doing a great job there in Lubbock.
Back coming, Waterman in a tough spot. Goes over the top of the smaller defenders. Here is Saunders. Counted. He's fouled.
Well, except for a couple of early possessions of the game, if you look back, Sean, BYU has handled any trap that Iowa State has put on them. And that's dead man's land right there in that far corner. But if you handle it with strength, you get out. The numbers are there. The way they move it. Great cut right there by Saunders. BYU putting on an offensive clinic here tonight.
Been an eventful 5-6 months for Richie Saunders. He was married on September 1st. Basketball in the family. Former BYU hoop standout Sierra Johnson. Richie Saunders seeing his minutes elevate the last couple of games. Khalifa with the block. Alan Hall stop and go to the corner. This place will go nuts if Saunders could have found the range. Instead, it's Iowa State. Jones hesitates. Now he'll pump it up. No. Khalifa on the tip rebound. One thing about this conference, I see the wraparound. Waterman. No follow-up is there by Johnson. He is creative. It's every type of pass, and this crowd showing their appreciation. Away from the action, looked like Hall shoved off on Watson. Mark Pope even smiling.
Yeah.
He's having a good time tonight.
Well, they've been outstanding. Khalifa right here, he won't get credit for the assists, but that's a pretty wraparound play. BYU up 20 going away.
Playoffs. Every tournament starts on ESPN Plus. Stream your own way before you need.
Four of those threes. Dallin Hall his three-point shooting in the second half. A big reason the Cougars have ballooned this up to a 20-point cushion.
And all without Trevin Bennett. He's probably the most prolific, consistent of them all. And you look right there. I mean, this is not just this season. B.J. Osselberger in his 3 years at Iowa State, they have been elite defensively. And Mark Pope's team has just come out. They've played comfortable. We're able to minimize turnovers, which is first and foremost when you play Iowa State. 10 on the night for the second half, just for BYU. And then the ability, especially in transition, and we talked about it early in the game, they can defensive rebound. BYU is going to get a lot of open threes.
Waterman with an exclamation point. This crowd sent